Hey guys, it's Terry Hansen with Good Dog Coaching and Pet Care, and I have had a lot of phone calls lately from folks, new dog owners, new puppy owners, calling and asking questions about what should they do, what are the most important things, what are the first things they should do when they've just brought this new puppy or dog home. So I'm going to share with you my top 6 tips for the first 30 days when you bring a dog or a puppy into your home. So number 1 is pet proofing your home, right? Of course, with puppies, hopefully we all realize, with a puppy is a baby and we need to pet proof our home. We need to pick things up, don't leave things laying around, pay attention to any kind of cords or things that might be accessible by the puppy, for sure. But also even an adult dog. If you've just adopted an adult dog from a shelter or something, I always say, because it's true, just because it's an adult dog doesn't mean it knows anything about living in your home. Depending on how long it's been at the shelter, especially if it's been there for quite some time. So, pet proofing, making sure things are clear from the counters, not things that a dog could get into, ingest, chew up, all of those things. You want to just kind of get down there on the ground and look at, from their point of view, things that would be accessible for them and keep it really safe. During that initial 30 days when you're also teaching them about what's acceptable and what's not acceptable behavior in your home. So pet proofing, any kinds of poisonous things, chemicals, and that kind of stuff as well. Okay. Number 2 is IDing your dog, which may include microchipping. Of course, microchipping is great, but also a simple collar and tags is really important too. Even though your dog is microchipped, if your dog gets out and they don't have a collar or tag on, that makes it more difficult for someone to know who the dog belongs to. And I think, most people are more apt to go up to a dog, approach it if it's got a collar and tags on. Plus, they can very easily look at the collar and tag, call the number on the tag, versus if you don't have a collar and tag on your dog, they have to then take it somewhere to a vet or something to have it scanned for a microchip. Not as many people are going to take that extra step. So microchip is great, but also collar and tags makes it really easy for someone, if your dog gets out accidentally, for someone to reach back out to you and for you to be reunited with your dog. So, number 3, quiet area. Initially when you bring that new dog or puppy home, it's a very exciting event typically, but think about it from the dog or puppy's point of view. They don't know you, they don't know anything about you, and they're coming into a totally new environment. It can be very overwhelming for them. So, those especially first few days, kind of try and keep it quiet, limit activities. Hopefully they're crate trained. If they're not, start working on crate training them. You certainly don't want to leave a dog or puppy out when you're not there that you don't know anything about. All right. And again, even if they're a full-grown adult dog, don't assume that they know anything about living in a home, or especially living in your home, because they don't. So a crate will keep your stuff safe and the dog safe. All right. Number 4, potty training. Again, you're going to hear the same theme here. Obviously, puppies, you need to work with them on potty training. But again, even a full-grown adult dog coming from a shelter, even coming from a foster situation. Again, just because they knew the rules or knew what to do at the foster's home or, in a shelter, they don't, right? So they don't know at your home, what are the rules? What do I do? Where do I go potty? So it's up to you to teach them all of that. Get them on a schedule, take them out on a leash. Don't just open the back door and let them out and assume that they've gone. Take them out on a leash, take them where you want them to go potty, and take them back to that place every time you take them out to potty. That helps them to learn much more quickly. It helps them to know why they're out there, where you want them to go. Makes it easier for cleaning up also. But it also allows you to know that they actually went, so that when you bring them back in, they're less likely, right, to have an accident if they might have just been out there sniffing around. And so again, even if they're grown-up dogs, don't assume that they know anything about that. If you start them off on a schedule and routinely taking them out, don't wait for them to tell you. It's not up to them, it's up to you to help them and set down the guidelines of what's expected of them. So number 5 would be exercise. Of course, exercise, right? Puppies and even adult dogs need exercise. So taking them for a nice walk, if it's a puppy, getting them used to the leash and having them walk on the leash is great. A structured type of a walk where they're walking nicely beside you really helps to burn off more energy than if they're just kind of sniffing here, sniffing there, kind of, investigating. You can stop and when you're doing your structured walk, you can stop and give them time out to go potty, but a structured walk really burns a whole lot more energy, and that's the goal when you're walking your dog. So, and number 6 would be training. Of course, training. Again, whether, a puppy, of course, they don't know anything. It's up to you to teach them everything. And if you need help, that's where trainers come in. We help you with that. But even adult dogs, a lot of times, if you're getting a dog from a shelter, chances are the reason why they ended up in a shelter is because they weren't well trained or socialized, or maybe not trained at all. So, again, even if they're adults, don't assume that they know all these good behaviors and they don't know them in your home. So getting them started right away on simple things like sit, down, coming when called, walking nicely on the leash, going to place. These are all great commands that have lots of practical uses, and they, give your dog focus and it's a great way to interact with your dog. You're training them, but they're learning good behaviors. You're teaching them the good behaviors that you want them to do so that when they go to make choices of what to do, they have some good choices. So training is really important. It's not just about the commands. It's also about social skills and all of that too. And good behaviors, not jumping, not barking excessively, all of that stuff. So if you start with them right away, you're setting the boundaries of what the rules are in your house, and, all in all, you'll have a happier, healthier, well-balanced dog. Dogs want to know what are the rules, right? What are my boundaries? It makes them feel more relaxed and safe overall, and happier. So anyway, those are my top 6 tips. Pet proofing, IDing, make them a quiet area, potty training, exercise, and overall obedience training. All right? If you guys have any questions, you can email us at info@gooddogcoaching.com. That's info@gooddogcoaching.com. Happy to answer any questions you guys have and help you in any way we can. Take care.